have your day brightened up? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Hashtag Positivity Podcast.
Three, two, one.
Happy New Year, everybody!
We are back. It's 2018. That's John's favorite noise. Not
Happy New
not
Year,
at
John.
all.
Happy New Year to you too, Donnie.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. It's 2018. Man, we've been doing this for a long time.
I believe this is episode number 10.
No, this is episode 11.
Wow.
11.
Number
Man,
11.
We're crushing it.
Crushing it.
Yep.
Yep.
Sweet. Don, how you doing?
Doing great.
Awesome.
Joke's getting old.
That's all right. I'm going to keep using it.
How was...
We're back! How about them apples, Jason?
I love apples.
I love it. So, what'd you do? Anything fun to celebrate the new year?
No, I didn't do anything. I worked.
You did?
Yeah, I worked. I was trying to tell Don when I worked. I don't even remember. The last couple of weeks have just been busy. A lot of time at work. The family, as you know, is down in Florida, so
Sure.
I didn't have anywhere in particular that I had to be. Just spent some time at the firehouse. One of my buddies, Matt, was back from California. Spent some time with them.
Perfect.
And that was about it. I didn't see the ball drop or anything like that. I was in bed well before that. But how about you guys? What'd you do?
Yeah, so we took the kids, my wife and I took the kids with a bunch of other families, rented out 5 or 6 bowling lanes, and we had a big,
Nice.
yeah, we took the kids bowling, and then we went to a friend's house for a New Year's party, but as you know, with the kids being the age that they are, they did not see New Year's, nor did I. So, but it was a great night. It was a lot of fun with the kids and the family.
Do you enjoy bowling?
No.
Really?
Well,
I love it.
I actually...
I'm absolutely horrible at it, but I love
Okay, so that's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
I learned the other night that it is a lot of fun. But maybe I shouldn't have said no. I don't enjoy it. It was a ton of fun. I'm just terrible at it.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people. I'm certainly not a bowler. A lot of traditional sports people may not necessarily equate bowling with sports. But I will tell you, there were a couple guys with us that have been bowling for a long time, and they were far better than
People who can bowl
than we were.
can bowl.
Yeah,
It's
and,
pretty impressive.
Spinning the ball, and
Yeah.
it was fun. We had a
Mookie
blast.
Betts.
You're
The
talking
Red
10.
Sox.
You're talking 10 pin, right? Not candle pin.
Yeah, no, this was
10
the
pin, yeah.
10 pin. Yeah,
Yeah.
the big balls. Yeah,
Mookie Betts from the Red Sox is a professional bowler.
is he really?
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's
Fun-
pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
A hell of a baseball player too. Yeah, but that was fun. So yes, we had a lot of fun. The kids loved it.
Did you do that here in
Yeah, right in
East
town.
Meadow?
Yeah,
Shaker Bowl. Yep.
yeah, it was a blast. It was packed, but we had a great time. And the kids we did pizzas and sodas and stuff for the kids, and it was a lot of fun.
Cool. It sounds like a blast.
Yep, everybody was talking about their New Year's resolutions and what they're going to start on January 2nd or January 1st or whatever.
And then
So,
finish by the 4th.
I have my own feelings on New Year's resolutions, but perhaps we could discuss that a little bit in our episode today.
Yeah. Don, things are good.
Things are great.
What-
Spent time with family
Nice.
as usual, and
Did you see the New Year?
we did.
Nice.
Yep. Saw the New Year and closed it down shortly thereafter.
Nice, man.
And you guys are back to work this week.
Today. We
Yeah,
went back
today,
today.
right?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, right back in the groove, man. You get back in there for 5 or 10 minutes and you feel like you never left.
Yep.
You know how it is.
Goes
When
by
you-
fast. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes by fast, and when you've done the job that we've all done for as long as we've done it, it's just get back in there and hit the ground running. The kids always need something, and so when they don't have access to the support that they usually have after a week or 10 days, they tend to come running. So
Yep.
it was busy.
Nice. Well, you alluded to your thoughts on New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear about those.
Yeah, so I have a tremendous amount of respect for anybody that resolves to change their life in any way, right? When I say I'm not into the whole New Year's resolution thing, I'm just not into it as it relates to a singular day, right? Because besides the fact that it's a new year on the calendar, whether it falls on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's another day in our life. So, and the days that we have here are fleeting.
Right.
They're not guaranteed. And so I just, it's always struck me as odd that people will wait till New Year's Day for all of a sudden what is going to become a fresh start. My feeling is whether you start on New Year's Day or you start in the middle of June, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a plan of action by which you're going to change your life, just because it's now 2018 doesn't mean that things are going to change. And I think what happens with New Year's resolutions is we live in this world where people just assume, well, I can do all the same stuff I've always done, but because it's a new year, the results are going to be different just because I want them to be. And that's not how it works.
Right.
So
this is going to be the magic year.
So
I've put the time in,
right,
but
right. No,
no real
you're
effort.
just a day older.
Yeah.
You're not a year older. You're just a day older.
Yep.
And so what's really going to change unless you decide to change some things about your life? And so that's, and I get fired up about it because I'm one of these people.
I didn't notice.
I'm just one of these people, and I think we all are, that are constantly looking for ways to improve, and we're not afraid to embrace change, not afraid to be told that we're wrong and that we got to try to do things differently. And there's a reason that so many people that start New Year's resolutions don't accomplish them, or the same reason that people that start a diet or make a change in their life or want to improve their relationship or want to get better grades or want to get in better shape or want whatever it is, it doesn't make any difference what day you start.
Right.
But you have to have a different plan.
Yep. And a lot of people, it'll be like May or June, and they'll say, 2019, I'm going to start doing this.
That's the
It's
worst.
Like, so you got a half a year that you could be working on this, and you're just going to wait?
But not only are you waiting, what we know and what people should know about ourselves and about life is that stuff tends to get worse,
Right.
not better.
You could dig yourself into a deep hole if you wait 6 months to do pretty much anything.
And who knows what's going to happen in 6 months?
Yeah.
Listen, we don't know what's going to happen 6 minutes from now, 6 hours from now, let alone 6 months from now. So listen, if you made a New Year's resolution, I am by no means telling you that it is a bad idea. It's not what I'm saying. If you've resolved to change something in your life, to do something better in your life, to be better in your life, I think that's awesome. I just hope, truly hope, that you have a plan, that you're going to do things differently than you did on the last day of 2017. Otherwise, you can expect 2018 to go the exact same way. That's my whole thing on New Year's resolutions.
Yep.
We were talking, my family and I was talking with some colleagues too. You know, what's one thing that you want to do better in the new year? And so I, every day try to come up with new goals. And for me, I want to try to take at least one person every day in my life that's an important part of my life. And I want to in some way personally acknowledge that person every day. So whether it's, Jason, I just want you to know that I value our friendship. I value who you are as a person. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, and I really appreciate who you are and the time I get to spend with you. Just a personal affirmation and a validation to another human being that they're appreciated, that they're respected, that they're loved, because I think life passes us by and we take for granted that these people know it. And even if they know it, it's still nice to hear it. People like to hear it.
Right.
So
Yeah, I agree.
is it a New Year's resolution? No,
I
I don't think it's a New Year's resolution. I just think it's something that I want to do a better job of.
I think I would have to make a lot of resolutions because I find myself going in a million different directions, and I wouldn't want to judge my success or failure for that whole year based on one thing that I decided.
It's a great point.
I try to get better at everything that I do a little bit, and they don't always go in the right order.
Or try new things.
Yeah, exactly. I bounce around from hobby to hobby, and I try new things, and if it doesn't suit me, then I move on. I'm not going to dwell on it.
And that doesn't mean that you didn't accomplish what you resolved to accomplish.
Right.
And that's
I'm learning something no matter
exactly.
what. I'm getting better at anything that I try.
And that's the other thing too, is that so if you make a resolution on January 1st of 2018 and you accomplish that by January 20th of 2018, then what?
Right.
Like
I'm going to wait until next year.
I think the
can't improve until the 19th.
Yeah. So I think it's about changing your mindset, not for New Year's Day because that's cliche and that's what people do. I think people have to work on changing their mindset every day. That every day is a blessing. It's a fresh start. Holy cow. I've been given a chance to open my eyes again, take another breath. What am I going to do today to be better than I was yesterday? And I just don't think it has to happen on New Year's Day.
I agree with you. I think I got some statistics here that overall 40% of Americans will make a New Year's resolution. And of those 40%, 92% will not follow through with what they set out to do for themselves. The biggest one obviously is weight loss or a diet.
Sure.
And it's like 20-something% of the people that choose that.
So let's do some quick math, right? What is it? Roughly 400 million people in the United States, the last census. I don't know, but I think it's around 400 million.
Okay.
Right? So what's 40% of 400 million? 10%.
A number.
10% would be 4 million, right?
Yep.
No. 10% would be 40 million.
Mm-hmm.
So 5% would be 20 million. So let's say 20 million people. 20 million people yesterday made resolutions. 92% of them are going to fail.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It's yeah.
It's terrible.
And I'd be willing to bet that a large portion have already given up on that.
Yeah.
Whatever they chose to
that
do.
was a stupid
We're 3
idea.
days in.
But that's what I mean. Like it's about creating a winning mindset. And a winning mindset doesn't come on the first day of the new year. A winning mindset has to be built, broken down, rebuilt every single day of the year. You just made a great point. You try all different things. You try to improve in all areas of your life. Some of the things just aren't your thing. You don't like them. Maybe you're just not into it, right? But would it have been easier to lose 10 pounds if you started in July, or is it going to be harder to lose 35 pounds because you decided to start in January?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's just So, Happy New Year, and I hope everybody has a great 2018. But man, if you're gonna resolve to do something different in your life, you can't just say this is my New Year's resolution. You have to actually put some substance behind that resolution. It's a goal. Okay? So it is a goal. It's something you want to achieve. You have to have a plan.
Right. Another thing that I get a kick out of is I've heard a bunch of people say that they are not going to share their New Year's resolution in case they fail. So right there, you're setting yourself up by not being accountable to anybody.
Exactly, which
for it.
flies in the face of successful goal setting.
Right.
One of the first things that you're supposed to do when you make a resolution or set a goal is to create a support system around you, a circle of folks around you that will help you achieve that goal.
Right.
I'm not going to tell anybody. Well, that's great. So
It's like your birthday when you blow out the candles.
yeah,
You make a
Right.
wish.
but
You
but
don't
that
tell anybody.
but that makes sense. Like I
Yeah,
get
no.
that. I get that.
This is really a hot topic for you.
Oh, I get fired up because I've taught you. Listen, once December 1st starts, people start talking about New Year's resolutions.
Yep.
Now it's January 2nd, and you won't hear about it again for another 355 days. Everybody forgets about it. And the people that listen to us, that are growing in numbers that listen to us, we care about these people.
Right.
So-
Absolutely.
Listen, because we care about you, don't just say this is what I want to do in 2018. What is the plan? Is it measurable? Who's going to help you out? Is the time frame 1 year? Because you can do a lot in 365 days. Or is the resolution 1 month and then we're going to recreate new goals? I don't know. So did you come up with a New Year's resolution?
No.
No.
I don't have a. Like I said, I would have to make a million different things because if I think mentally you're setting yourself up for failure too. Like I said, if I try something and I don't like it, and then I say, well, that was my resolution, I guess I blew that.
Right.
Like that's no. I anything that I'm currently doing, I work to get better at. There's going to be new things that I'll try this year, not because it's this year, just because I haven't gotten to them yet.
Right.
And I'll work on all of that, but I'm not going to. I don't have a 2018 is going to be the year of this for me. So
How about you, Donnie?
I don't think I've ever made a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
I just set goals and go for them as I reach them. I
Set new ones.
have a plan for what the next one is, but when I reach it,
But it doesn't have to be on January 1st.
no.
I think it's good. It's good to look at it more like a bucket list, right? rather than a one resolution, it's good to have a list of things you want to try and experiment with.
Yeah.
And, check them off as you go. If you like them, good. Get better at them as you continue
But
on.
don't
If
you
you don't,
think-
just toss them.
But don't you think most people fail at that? Even
Probably.
the resolution or bucket list, because they just say what they want to do.
Yeah, they don't
Listen,
make an effort to put a plan into place
I
around
want,
themselves.
yeah. Listen, there's a lot of things we'd want, but they're not just going to fall on your front door.
Right.
You have to go out and work for them. You have to have a plan. So anybody that's listening or anybody that shares this with their family, friends, coworkers, if you really want to have a New Year's resolution in your office, in your family, make it something that everybody can wrap their head around. Get excited about it, be passionate about it, and put a plan together. Then it's not a resolution, then it becomes a goal.
Right.
And if you have a plan, you're much, much more likely to achieve that goal.
I agree. It's a great tip. Get a whole bunch of people who want to do something similar to you. Start an exercise group. Start a healthy cooking group. So anything that you want to accomplish. Get some people who have the similar plan or similar idea. Work with them to put a plan in place and work towards it. Hold one another accountable as you move forward.
And help each other out. Help each other out. Because accountability, you mentioned it before, in any area of our life, accountability is going to help keep us on track. Period. If you know that other folks that are sharing the same goal, vision, resolution as you are going to show up at the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning and you committed to do that, well, then you have to show up too.
Right.
It makes it much, much more difficult to stay under the covers when you know 4, 5, 6, 10 other people are going to show up there.
Yep.
I'm reading a book, Tim Ferriss's new book, Tribe of Mentors.
Yeah.
And he actually has recorded some of the people that have their little piece in the book.
Sure.
And I can't remember who it was. I recently listened to it, but the point that the guy was making was he made a commitment to his friends that every day he would meet them at 8 o'clock at a specific location that they had chosen earlier in the day or the day before to work out. And he said they would, either run or they'd do cardio or they'd lift or they'd do whatever. And he got to the point where he didn't do it because of the exercise. He did it because he wanted to be with his friends.
Fellowship.
Right.
So
The community.
as Jason
that's
says,
what it's all about.
Yeah, if you have a goal or if you surround yourself with like-minded people, they're going to help you reach that goal.
Absolutely.
And you might even have some fun. Like this
Right.
guy's point was it was
a blast.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't
and you
feel
get
like
to
work.
spend time with people you
Yeah.
like to be around.
It didn't feel like work.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
How far through that book are you?
I've read if you're not familiar with his last two books, he chops them up into sections, and it's like 2, 3, 4, 5 pages for each person. And
It's awesome.
It's really genius how he does it. You just kind of go to the book when you need some motivation or you
So
need
they're
some
like
information.
testimonials, sort of.
Yeah,
like
kind
short
of like
stories
that.
or
So,
something. Cool.
Tools of Titans was the one he just put out, 6 months ago, and then this is Tribe of Mentors, and it's just a neat thing. I think with anybody who sets goals, wants to be inspired or motivated, Tim Ferriss is the guy,
Yeah.
and he's just the way he does it is really neat. So they're, the books are
It's
about
awesome.
6 inches
Yeah,
thick,
but you can
they're-
refer back to them anytime.
Yeah,
And
they're
like you
great.
said, you don't have to read a whole bunch of it to get something out of it. You could skip around.
Right.
So-
and if you see somebody that you want to know more about,
Right.
you
Yeah.
can I want to know more about what this guy has to say.
That's the other thing too that Donnie just mentioned. You talk about a tribe of mentors, is that especially with adults, adults don't always do the greatest job of reaching out and asking for help because they view it as a weakness or that they're inconveniencing other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the other takeaway is, excuse me, if you really want to achieve something and you're not sure how to get started, there are people out there that will help.
Yeah. Other people have done what you're trying to do. Reach out to
Absolutely.
one of them. Or even if they haven't, they're going to have a different perspective on how maybe would be the most efficient way to
That's right.
to get through
and
something.
you would be amazed at how willing people are to help
Yep.
when you ask, because it's great for other people too. They feel like everything that they're passionate about, when somebody shares a passion for something or has a passion for something, more often than not, those people don't want to keep quiet about it.
Right.
Those people want to talk to other people about their passion because it may spark a passion in somebody else, or at a very basic level, it feeds their own soul. It fires their own soul so that they get excited about it.
And they might not have somebody to talk about it with yet.
Exactly.
So and on top of it all, it feels good to help people, right?
It feels good to help other people. Absolutely. Yep. So that's for those of you that are listening that want to pick it up. Donnie just mentioned. Donnie, correct me if I'm wrong. It's called Tribe of Mentors.
Tribe of Mentors is the most recent one, and the one before that was Tools of Titans, and they're both phenomenal books. You're not going to sit down. If you want to sit down and read it in one sitting, it's going to take you 3 weeks. Don't be overwhelmed when you see the size of it, but it's both of them are great.
And that's by Tim Ferriss. I'm sure you can get it anywhere that books are sold, an audio book or something like that.
Yeah, Amazon. I'll put a link in the description.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Appreciate that. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on New Year's resolutions. But the reason I'm so passionate about it is I spend so much of my time, and a huge part of my life's work is helping not just students, but some of the private clients that I work with. And when I have a chance to speak all across the country, it's about helping people match passion with purpose and to sort of get them to write their own story. And time and time again, what I run into is, well, this was the plan I had, but I didn't accomplish it. And most of the time, it's not because they weren't capable or weren't bright enough, or it's because they didn't plan. They didn't have a plan. They weren't prepared for setbacks. They weren't prepared for obstacles. They weren't prepared to be told no. We started this podcast, and we want 1 million followers from the first day we start the podcast. Well, it requires work.
Time, work, planning, energy, all of that. Yeah.
And so
it's a process.
And so I get fired up when people talk about their resolutions because 92% of them fail. And that's not because 92% of the people that set these resolutions for themselves are failures. It's because they don't have a plan.
There's I believe it's David Goggins. I was trying to look this up real quick, but I believe it's David Goggins, who is another hugely motivational guy, former Navy SEAL, and he's done a whole bunch of stuff, ultra marathons, things like that. But he says that we quit at about 40%, most people.
I believe that.
So whether it's a physical endeavor or something that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I believe that.
So when things start to get tough, most people just, it's not for me, or they give up.
That's
and
100%
they don't want
correct.
to face the difficult path ahead. So
yeah, there's another link that maybe we can provide, not just the David Goggins link and the Tim Ferriss link, but there's another former Navy SEAL. His name is Rorke Denver. He's written several books. He was also in the movie based on the SEAL team that went in to find bin Laden. The name of the movie slips my mind right now, but Rorke has started a company called Ever Onward, and it's around leadership and the principles that we're talking about right now. And he is another awesome motivator, phenomenal read in language that the layperson can understand.
Yep.
Yes, he was a Navy SEAL and an operator for a long time, but he explains his principles and his ethos in a way that the layperson, who, having never served in the military but wants to change their life for the better, can truly benefit from. He's phenomenal. His name is Rorke Denver, and his company's called Ever Onward.
Well, let's even talk for a second about speaking with Dan last week.
Oh,
How awesome is he?
Awesome.
I mean, there's a lot of things that people can take away from that episode. If you guys haven't listened to it, I encourage you to go back. It's the episode from last week with Dan Warren.
I've listened to it over and over again.
What a well-spoken, intelligent, just
Driven
really great guy.
Yes.
I mean, you can learn a lot from him. And towards the end of the episode, he has a list of bullet points that he looks for and traits that he looks for in people who are going to work with him. And I've listened to that. It's like, man, you can really learn a lot of things. So I look forward to speaking with him again. I know that we said we were going to do a follow-up episode. I've messaged him back and forth a couple times. He's into it, so we'll have to set that up.
It was phenomenal, and we are.
It makes it nice too that not that any of the other people aren't real people, but he's a local guy. It just makes it more attainable. Things are a little bit more easy to digest, I think.
Absolutely. If you can make a connection with somebody in your own life,
Yep.
that they don't have to be superhero, celebrity, a pro athlete, musician, whatever. But if you can make a connection with that person in your own life that you know, or that a family member knows, or a friend knows, that has reached the same goals that you want to reach out to that person.
Yep.
Reach out and talk to that person for the same reasons that we just discussed a few minutes ago. But those are the people that can help you the most. If I decide that I want to be, I'm a little bit older now, but if I decide that I want to become a fireman, I know that I can talk to you and figure out, hey, what do I need to know that's going to make this process a little bit more manageable for me, because it's difficult and I want to be as successful as I can be. So there are so many people out there that are willing to help. And now, with technology the way that it is today, everything is at your fingertips, and a lot of it doesn't cost a cent.
Right. There's a million resources on Google.
Yeah.
Doesn't take long to find anything you want to find nowadays.
It does not. So,
man,
I guess instead of New Year's resolutions, we are going to stay the course and continue to work on getting better every day with a plan. With a plan in mind, and not being afraid to be exposed to new experiences, new people, try things that we may not like. And again, I always go back to this, but failure, I think, is so often your best teacher.
Yep.
And I think
don't be afraid to fail.
And I think so many people don't. You just talked about the
unless you're going into like skydiving or something like that.
Yeah, you don't want to fail.
Take your time. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to fail.
Yeah.
I think that's why when you first jump, they make you do it with somebody else.
Yeah.
But people are afraid to fail. And, you mentioned a statistic a few minutes ago of like 40% or something. And I would agree with that, that we only maximize about 40% of what we're capable of because our mind gets in the way and we come up with every reason in the world why we shouldn't. Or life gets in the way, or our kids get in the way, or our family gets in the way. But if you watch all of the other people out there with wives, kids, husbands, families, full-time jobs that are going out and doing amazing things, they don't have any more hours in the day than we do. So
just making better use of their time.
Ultimately, we're going to have to look in the mirror, and you got to get real selfish and say, am I really doing everything that I'm capable of doing, or am I just talking about doing everything I'm capable of doing? There's a big difference between the two.
Very true.
Is. Nice. Well, I think with that, we should let people get out their pencils and erasers and maybe start making a list of things that they can work on this year instead of just one big all or nothing resolution.
No doubt. And the only other thing I would add is if you're going to create goals for yourself and you've never done it before, there's a bunch of different resources you can find on how to make goal sheets for yourself or goal notes for yourself. But a really easy acronym is the SMART principle. And each letter in the SMART acronym stands for something. So S is the goal specific. Okay, is it a specific goal? Not just I want to lose weight, or not just I want to get stronger, but you have to identify a poundage. So that's the S. The M is it measurable? Can I quantify this goal? Okay, is there some way for me to measure it? A, is it attainable? Is it realistic? Okay, me setting a goal for myself on January 1st of, I want to lose 30 pounds by January 15th, probably not an attainable goal. And if you do, it'll be in a way that's very unhealthy. The R is realistic. Is it a realistic goal for you based on, your life better than anybody? You know what your responsibilities are. You know what your work schedule is like. Is the goal realistic? And then the last one is it has to be timely. You have to create a time frame by which you want to accomplish your goal. I've done this work on goal setting with students, adults, athletes at the college, professional level. I've spoken on this all across the country. If you do not set a very, very specific time frame for yourself, the likelihood of you reaching this goal is almost non-existent because stuff gets in the way. It cannot become an addition to what you do in your life. It has to become part of your life. And so I think if you use that SMART principle and write it down, keep it with you wherever you go. Create extra sheets. Keep them in your pocket. Keep them in your purse. Carry it with you so that you're forced to look at it every day. You'll be much more likely to stay on track.
That's great. That's a great principle. I hadn't. I think we spoke about that actually when we visited with Nick and Pete.
Yes.
But that's a good way for people to put everything down, organize it, make sure that it's a useful goal for themselves.
Yeah.
So, you guys have anything else?
I got nothing. Looking forward to next week.
Awesome. Me too.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
likewise. It was
good.
great to see you guys. Happy New Year to
Yeah.
everybody that's listening. We continue to be so grateful for your support. Please tell friends and family where to find us, and we look forward to working with you throughout 2018. Be good to those you love. Let them know you love them.
Take care, guys. See you next time.
Thanks so much for listening to the Hashtag Positivity Podcast. Online at hashtagpositivity.org, on Facebook at Hashtag Positivity, and Instagram, the official Hashtag Positivity. If you liked the episode, please rate and review. And remember, positivity is contagious. Sprinkle that madness every